This video is brought to you by Beyonce, and getting Beyonce tickets about 5 minutes before you start making a video. Nothing gets you pumped to make a video like getting Beyonce tickets. I want to dedicate this video to a friend of mine that recently passed away, who was always really in my corner and always my cheerleader. I love you, Marlena. I hope you're watching this wherever you are. And I know you would have wanted me to make videos about this when I first found out like years ago, and I just sort of put it off and kept putting it off. Also, shout out to all my orchids. I love you guys. Hi guys, it's Jen. I was a YouTube blogger, started in 2007, made lots of videos about Harry Potter, TV and movies. In 2013, I got Google Glass and I started making videos through that. I used to make videos at Harry Potter conventions. Now I want to talk to you about something personal. If you can't tell, my look has kind of changed, but it gave me a little bit more confidence to make videos. Last October, I posted something on Facebook that until I posted it, it was completely private. Only my closest friends knew. Then it became public. I am an intersex woman. What does intersex mean? Intersex describes people born with natural variation of internal and or external sex characteristics. That's a big fancy definition. Let me break it down for you. We're usually taught that there are only two biological sexes, male and female. There are actually a lot of natural variations that we don't actually talk about and that we don't teach in school. It's either out of shame or secrecy or confusion, or people don't understand, or people are too focused on the fact that they think gender is a binary or sex is a binary. There are about over 30 differences in sex development, or DSTs, that we know about. Those can also be called intersex traits. Mine is called Swire Syndrome, which means that I have female internal and external sex characteristics. My gender identity is also female, if you couldn't figure that out. It means that I don't produce female hormones and I have XY chromosomes. So XY is typically male. Your health textbook taught you that it was male. So how did I find out about this? So when I was 16 and I hadn't started my period yet, my mom took me to a pediatrician who referred us to a pediatric endocrinologist. Those endos ran a gamut of tests, MRIs, pelvic ultrasounds, genetic karyotypes, to determine the cause of or the symptoms of my condition. So they brought me and my mom in after they did all those tests and gave us this long drawn out explanation. And that explanation boiled down to two things. One, you can't have kids. That's a traumatic thing for a 16-year-old to learn, and it's really hard to sort of get into the mindset of what that really means. The second thing was, you're probably never going to meet anybody like you, so it's probably best not to tell anybody about this. Like, you could tell your family, but that's it. That's another thing you probably shouldn't tell a 16-year-old, especially a 16-year-old as boisterous and talkative as me. It made me think that there was nobody else like me. They also didn't discuss with me what parts I had and didn't have, so for a long time I was really confused. I never really figured out what my diagnosis was. I was really bothered by that. They never gave me a name for it. 11 years go by. It doesn't matter why 11 years went by, just stay with me. At this point, I'm 27. I had to go through all the scans all over again. This time, when I do the scans and the karyotype and everything, I get to see the paperwork, the physical medical records, and they say 46XY. At that point, I say to myself, how am I XY, but I'm a girl? And I don't even know what intersex means at this point. The endocrinologist that I'm meeting at the time says, we don't need to do a surgery. Your MRIs show there's nothing on the inside. There's no uterus, there's no ovaries. And I go, okay, well, at least that clears that up. What is it called? And he says, I can't tell you what it's called. You need to find someone who will help you test your genomes. You need to find someone who will be like a counselor in genetics for you. And then you have to have complete medical history, all the records from your entire journey. And that takes about 3 or 4 years. This is about early last year. I finally got those medical records. I have my medical records. I have my, 46XY complete gonadal dysgenesis diagnosis. I'm going to use that term loosely because that doesn't really mean anything. That can fall under a bunch of different kinds of condition. And then later last year to find out not only do I have a uterus, but I also have streak gonads. What that means is there are tissues inside my abdomen that never fully developed into ovaries or testes, like with certain intersex conditions. That's bad because those streak tissues can become cancerous, which is really scary, and we don't like to think about this, the big C. Have I had surgery? I just recently, in last December, had my first surgery to remove the streak gonads in case they were cancerous, so we take those out. Recovery lasted about a month. I have a few scars, but I have no cancerous tissue. I'm mass-free. I'm healthy, except for the fact that I fractured my pelvis. I don't want to talk about it. I feel really stupid. Black ice is no joke. Are you a boy trapped in a girl's body? No. I am a woman, my gender identity is female, my karyotype is 46XY, but I'm still female. I've never felt male, I've never felt like a boy. You know, I've been pretty androgynous at times, but I don't count that as a gender identity. I feel like that's just like my style and like my flow. Why am I like coming out or disclosing about this now? This is the first thing I'm making a video about that needs more people talking about it. A lot of things I talk about in videos, I'm just sort of adding to the noise, but with this, it's a very low amount of noise right now, and we need more noise on it. Also, I didn't know about this until I was 16, and then from 16 to 27, I didn't even know that I was 46XY. So just putting this out there and letting people know that 1 in 2,000 people have a chance of some sort of intersex variation is important. People need to know that this is way more common than I think it is. And I sort of want to put this out there to anyone who's just getting their diagnosis, who's 12, 13, 14, 15, who says, I haven't started my period yet, or I don't know what's wrong with my body. Why is this happening? I don't get it. I don't understand. I want to say 2 things to that person really quick. The first thing is, you're probably really freaked out right now, and you're probably scared. And that's how I felt for most of my life. You're probably feeling really alone right now. You're not alone. You're really not. There's a lot of us. There's so many of us. And 1 in 2,000, that's, you know, a decent percentage of the population. You're also probably thinking that something's wrong with you, or that you need to be fixed, or that you're broken, or you need to be corrected. You're not. You're not broken. There's nothing wrong with you. The universe and, you know, your holy whatever person that you believe in, they created you this way for a reason. You were made this way. You know, I don't want to be like Lady Gaga, but you were born this way. Anyway, that was terrible. The other reason why I want to still make more videos about this is it's important that we keep talking about it. Not just on Intersex Awareness Day, which is when I posted my first thing on Facebook. If I start the conversation, it spreads, and more people want to talk about it, and more people want to get educated. I have so many ideas for videos that have to do with being intersex and issues of sex and gender. If I were to just start making those videos out of nowhere without explaining to you why they're important to me, then it would just seem like they're coming out of left field. Or at least it would seem like that to me, maybe not to you. Thanks for watching. You're not alone. There's lots of us, I promise. Bye. So what I do is, sorry, I'm reading this all off of a teleprompter, so I'm going to pause it because I'm going pretty fast. It's almost as common as they think. It's almost as common as people with red hair. And I don't have red hair, I have strawberry blonde hair, but I take that very personally.